Welcome back, League Nighters. We're back again. We're going to do another swing breakdown for one of our conference pros, Everett Williams, an absolute monster. But before we do that, again, quick shout out to San Francisco Baseball Academy for helping us and our teams out. Check them out if you're in the area and need some practice in. You can check them out.
And as always, please make sure to like, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell to get notified when new content comes out, and most importantly, please drop us a comment. Tell us what you like, what you don't like, what you want to see next. Ask about Cam's hair products, anything you want to see, let us know. We're here for everything. We're always looking for recommendations about swing breakdowns, bat showdowns, whatever you want to know. Let us know in the comments. We'll always respond, and we'll try to incorporate it into future episodes.
Also, Stacy at ASP for helping us with jerseys, doing a lot of great stuff for us. Hopefully we got a few things coming up with him in the future too, so just stay tuned for that. Check it out. But back to Everett here. Pass him out. Everett Williams. We're going to be checking him out today and this monstrous swing. And as always, Jason has prepared a few stats to let us know exactly how good he is, if in case you didn't know already.
Well, everybody's got to assume he's good, right? He's got his own pro model Louisville bat, so clearly he's doing something right. So I just pulled up a couple stats from 2022. So far, he's got 166 plate appearances. Cam and I always talk about, that 600 on base percentage. Blowing it out of the water. He's at 745 right now. Clearly he's getting on base, and he's getting on base a lot.
High clip.
He's earned a lot of accolades because of that. So not only is he hitting 745 OBP, he's got 35 home runs, 24 doubles, and an RP7 of 45.36. He's producing a lot of runs for his team.
Yeah.
Again, for those of you guys that haven't watched before, RP7 is a unique statistic that puts your output in all 10 positions in the batting lineup and projects how many runs your team would score if you hit in all 10 positions. So Everett Williams carries his team to a 45 runs per game average. I think you'll win a lot of games if you're putting up 45. On top of that, he was all-tourney team in 2022's Hall of Fame Classic Duel, both events. As those of you know, that's 2 tournaments back-to-back. He was all-tourney in both of those tournaments. Also, the Conference USSSA Texas Legends all-conference team, and the 2022 Battle of Bull Run all-conference team. So he is getting a lot of awards. His production is warranting it. He's having a great season.
So we're not the only ones that thinks he's good, I guess, then, huh?
Somebody else has noticed that he's good too.
Yeah, I think the word is out. He's not sleeping. Nobody's sleeping on him anyway, so. All right, so we're going to check out some of these swings here. So as you might have guessed from some of those stats, this dude is a power guy. So of course we want to start with the home run swing. So let's take a quick look at it in real time and check it out. Got a nice close view here thanks to SW48. Shout out to SW48 and their channel for letting us use this footage here. So we'll go back, check it out again. Big swing, long ball, and we're estimating this hit is like, I don't know, 380, something like that. It's a big bomb right there. So and it gets way up there. So gonna run through this a little bit here. First thing that I noticed and I was talking to you about is that unlike a lot of the pros we've seen so far, he's got this super close stance. So his feet are like almost right on top of each other. And you'll notice that front foot is actually a little bit open towards right side. Definitely unique in that way. But, again, stance is kind of what makes you comfortable. There's not really a right or wrong way to do it as long as you're not in a position that doesn't allow you to hit very well. Like that's really the only thing you got to avoid there. So, but as we see coming through here, a little bit of movement in his hands, kind of a trademark for him. He's got a pretty big, just pick that foot straight up. You'll notice it's almost just like directly up. He's not really moving it forward yet. All that balance is on that back foot. So all that weight is back there ready to be transferred forward.
Gets those hands loaded up.
Sure does. Big load on that hands. Step length isn't super long. It's big enough for sure, but it's not like a huge swing like Kyle Pearson, who I believe is right there. I believe that's him right there.
If you're wondering.
He's here observing this as well. Gets that foot down, straighten that leg out, and again, huge huge.
That's beautiful.
Hand movement there. Super violent swing. I know we've talked about violent swings in the past. EW might be the most violent swing in my opinion. He's just got this like super explosive power.
He generates a ton of power through those hips.
Yeah.
You know, for those of you that don't know, he was drafted to the pros. He played in the Padres system. So, you know, he knows a thing or two about hitting the ball, and he shows those mechanics here and how he generates power through the hips.
Thank you, SW48, for this angle. This is like perfect. You can see just perfectly here that the relationship between when that front leg gets straightened out and those hips get turned fully back towards the playing field. It's like a full 90-degree turn, and you can see just like how far around it is, and that's at the point of contact basically right there. So the hips, or the front leg straightened out, the hips have fired, the arms and shoulders have come through its motion, and all that bat lag has now come through, and now it's actually going to make contact with the ball and fly through.
You just look at his eyes are straight down the barrel of the bat at the contact point. He is just staring at the ball as he makes contact, which again, we've talked about it every time that I discipline and really making sure you watch it all the way through the swing. And he does that, and it makes sense why he's having such a good season. Is his eye discipline is there, his mechanics are great. You know, the chin goes from shoulder to shoulder, and he just annihilates this thing.
And even like, so right here again, he's still kind of looking up at the ball, but if you just keep like if you just put a mark like where his eyes are, right? So his eyes are right here. As we move through this, like when the ball gets lower, they move a little bit, but I mean, we're talking a few inches, like, and his head is just almost stationary the whole time. You'll notice his body almost moves around his head. So again, just to reiterate how important that is, that keeping that head so steady and so smooth is just going to help you square that ball where you want to hit it, you know, just about every time, if you can make that work. So
as you can see, we've talked about some of the stuff that he does here. We've done other swing breakdowns of power hitters that are a lot quieter in the lower half. So what you can see is there's no rhyme or specific recipe to generating a ton of power. It can be done in a lot of different ways, but you see those common mechanics of the hands really going through the zone, but following the hips in the lower half and the head being super quiet. Everett takes a big leg kick, other guys don't. That's totally okay, whatever makes you feel good, but it's really just throwing those hips and generating all that power from your lower half and letting it bring the bat through is really going to help you generate the ton of power that you're looking to generate.
I don't think we've used the term a lot. We've said it a few times, but it's all about the lag of the bat head, so bat lag. And maybe just because this is such a good angle, I think you can see it very well. So if you think about all the parts of the swing, right? So you got the foot, it lands, right? Bat head is still back. The hips are firing, right? The hips get fired almost entirely all the way around before the bat head comes out to even with all those other things. So that's what, when we do say bat lag, or when you hear others say bat lag, that's what we're talking about. It's all those motions that are getting that power and creating the movement of the body to twist like that. They're all happening before the bat. And I think that's where some people get a little thrown off, especially, you know, rec players or guys in our league even are like that. Not that we're like elite by any means, but we got some pretty good athletes we play with. Every once in a while, you'll see some guys that even though they hit the ball well, that sequencing isn't quite there. And so they don't get that foot down, hips firing, and then the bat. Sometimes the bat gets out ahead of those, and that's when you don't hit the ball quite as hard as you could. I think we all know.
You leave it right here. One of the things you can really see too is we've talked about snapping at the point of contact. You can actually kind of see from this angle the top hand dominance that he's going through when he's making contact. So if you go the frame before to the frame where he contacts, you're seeing a lot of domination by the top hand right through the point of contact, which is generating that just extra bat whip, which adds the smidge of extra bat speed at the point of contact to really get that ball driven to wherever he's going. Shout out ASP. You can see ASP
yep, that's
on
right.
the back of those Smash It Sports jerseys.
Shout out Stacy and ASP.
But yeah, I think this angle gives us a unique perspective and a unique frame of how he snaps the wrist. You almost look like his bottom hand is kind of even coming off the bat a little bit because he's so aggressively snapping the top hand.
That was actually one thing I was going to point out. Not like a massive thing, but you see a lot of the pros do that kind of overlap grip on the bat. He's one of the few that don't, but again, can still get it done. Obviously, I do think he, just from like where you can see here, it does look like he might hang a pinky off the bottom. But again, that's not nearly as drastic as the guys that like hang off 2 fingers and they like put the hand over the overlap. Like yeah, so he's kind of got more of a traditional like grip on the bat, which I think a lot of, at least I know you can, I'm sure a lot of our viewers can kind of relate to. So you don't have to go to that to create all that power. It can be done. Now, granted, he's kind of a monster, so he gets to create a lot of power without doing that. But just to kind of goes to show you that you can have a great swing and not necessarily have to do that. More than one way to do a good thing. One
of the great things about EW, though, he doesn't just hit bombs. He has one of the filthiest backside swings that we've ever seen.
True.
And we're going to show it to you now.
Yep, let's go check it out.
So as we mentioned, EW's got a lot of extra swings in the bag that aren't just hit the heck out of the ball because, you know, getting on base at a 745 clip and having 45 bombs is great, but he has 166 plate appearances. You know, what's he doing with those other ABs to get on base and help his team out? Well, this is one of the things that I've seen him do that I don't know too many conference players can do as well as him, and that's just what some of the gamers like to call the backside boogie. So we're going to run through at full speed this clip of him just absolutely pounding the left side of the outfield here. It is a wonderful swing.
Look at it curl, too. That's just pretty.
Unstoppable.
Just pretty.
He gets out of the box hard. That's a double every time.
Yep. Stand up double every time.
He made that look so easy.
Look at it again here real quick.
I have to imagine if you had this swing, you are going to be a phenomenal guy getting on base or gal. Yep. You know, anybody could put this swing in the bag and use it to get on base a ton and keep the defense honest.
On that point real quick, most of our viewers are guys, so if there's any women that are out watching these, please keep watching. Welcome. We want to try to maybe get some female players on here soon too, so keep an eye out for that. We appreciate everybody. We'd love to have you guys here too. So
break it down in slow-mo. What are you seeing?
So we got him, again, similar stance. You'll notice feet are close. You get a little bit different angle on it here, so you can see they're close, and you can really see how that's front foot's open a little bit there towards right field.
Swinging the pass him out Jenny for those that can't see. That's his signature model.
All right, so
see the shortstop start to cheat middle too, so he knows he's got the whole left side open.
Circle him here. He starts to shift in. Now, one thing I'm noticing here on the backside swing, and I don't know if this is because of the pitch or because he knows he's going backside, he doesn't lift that leg up nearly as high, right? He kind of just shifts forward a little bit. He's more of a slide forward. He gets down lower.
Yeah, he's really getting into a deep squat.
Yep. And he actually gets almost out front of himself. Like he's kind of in front of his weight and just has like a great chop. Like look at the bat path on that, just chopping down on that, which again is going to get that
cut swing there.
Exactly, getting that great cut on the swing. I don't know if anybody's out there that likes to hit backside or has been practicing hitting backside. If you can get a ton of spin on a ball going to the backside, it'll often curl out, just like we were talking about. So again, getting that great chop. I'm just going to run it forward here so you can kind of watch the ball path. So just watch how it's going out, but it's turning to the left the entire time.
Yeah,
so it's
use
just
that tall building
left
as perspective to see how it's slicing.
Yeah, so let's see if we can get it back to when it starts to come out. So it kind of stops going right once it gets kind of to the edge there. But now watch it just keep moving out. Like tons of movement out there. And again, that left fielder has to run very far. Plus, if you think about it, that fielder's running away from second base. So even after he fields that ball, it's going to be a lot harder for him to get reset and make a hard throw to second. So another good reason why he gets a stand-up double on that there. Because again, the ball's hit hard to the gap. Here's your left fielder. I mean, look at all this. Look at all this space in left field here. Just an absolute massive amount. Who knows what the home run limit is here, but you can even see the little sign, 300 in the corner. I think there's a 330 sign. Yeah, it is 330 sign and left center. So this is not a big field for these guys. I would imagine, again, he's doing this on purpose because he's like, hey, it's not time for a home run. There's nobody on base. I've got all the space. What's going to be a great hit here if I can get 2 bags, right? He wants to get two bases on this, get himself in some amount of scoring position for the next guy. So very strategic here. But again,
it could also be that no one's on base, right? And solo bombs, even when you have 13 or 15 is your limit, a solo home run, these guys will hit 15, and the solo ones, that's empty calories, as we like to say.
Yeah, and especially if you're somebody that can hit, you're not just somebody, but an entire team that can hit a bomb on command. Every guy on this roster, if you're like, hey man, it's time to go hit one, every single guy on the roster can do it. It's just a great, I guess, example of having a second tool in your toolbox that is super effective, right? I mean, this is crazy effective hit right here. If you see the defensive alignment like this, and you can hit this ball with some amount of consistency, this is a double every time. I mean, I don't know anybody that I've ever talked to that plays softball that says, hey, if you could have a double every time, would you not want to do that? Like, everybody wants that, right? Everybody would love to have that tool in the toolbox. So it just goes to show that these guys aren't just home run hitters. They have really great tools in their toolbox, and that's why they're up where they are. And I know I can, I know you can, I'm sure everybody watching, except maybe EW, because he's got it figured out, could learn something from this. So same thing though, even if you're not a lefty like Everett, right-handers, a lot of times, at least I've noticed it, a lot of times you'll get a ton of space on the right field line. So the opposite of this, if you can get that oppo hit, especially if you can get it this effective, you're going to have a lot of success. You're going to have a 700 plus on base percentage. You're going to have all those doubles. Your RP7 is going to be going up.
I think the biggest thing that you can learn from this, viewers, is look how deep he lets that ball travel before he actually hits it. The swing before, when he hit that home run, he's hitting it well in front of the plate and really driving through the ball. But to get that backside swing and really get the ball over there but still hitting it hard, you really have to let the ball travel to you a lot more than is almost comfortable. This is something that I've been working on a ton this season because, one of the things that I've talked about and what we would recommend is talk to people that you play against and ask them how they want to get you out. Yeah. And they'll give you some feedback. If you're good enough friends with them, they'll say, oh, this is what I would do. And so then you know what you need to work on. And one of the things is a lot of people are going to say, I'm going to throw you low and outside, and I'm going to make you go the other way. How do you beat that? You let the ball get in on you a little bit more and have the confidence that you can drive it to the other side of the field. And perfect example of how you wait on it, you drive it to the opposite field. And as Cam mentioned, it's a stand-up double, and that'll play every day.
To kind of give an actual view of that. Now, he starts pretty forward in the box, like his back foot is like middle of the plate. That ball is actually traveling, I would say by the time he makes contact, it's probably almost even with the plate, which again, when you start that far forward, that's pretty deep. In comparison to him, that's probably getting close to his back shoulder, as far as like parallel there before he's making contact with the ball. So again, very big factor in being successful in that backside swing.
You still see a lot of the same mechanics. You see the eye discipline there. Yep. He's really watching it all the way to the point of contact. So even though he's doing something a little different with his bat, his eyes are still tracking the ball and staying on top of it all the way through the swing. So
absolutely,
regardless of what you're trying to do, there are some things that just should never change, and that's one of them.
Yeah, eyes are super important. All right, well, I hope you guys enjoyed our little breakdowns here of one of the best that's playing right now, Everett Williams. Hope you all can take something away and put it into your own game. Please, we would love it if you guys would like, subscribe, ring the bell. All that stuff helps us out, gets us in there, so that way we get into the YouTube algorithms and more people can see it and more people can learn. So please do that for us. We'd really appreciate it. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you next time.